So let me give you a little backstory of how this came about. Keep IoT Weird is kind of the brand that we have. My name is Josh Cross. My background is software development, as I mentioned, full stack development primarily, working on the originally LAMP stack, now with the Mean stack. This box here actually uses Node.js primarily. Like I said, so Keep IoT Weird, we started back late January, early February, and the goal was to get something ready for South by Southwest to be able to kind of demonstrate during the festival. And I was the kind of founder and initial idea guy behind this, in that I created, or I'm sorry, I had some new IoT boards, just the development boards, lying around my house, and I got kind of sick of making the thermostat and light switch modules, and I wanted to do something different. So my idea was I wanted to keep it cheap, and I wanted it to be different. So what I did was I went to the thrift store, I found a bunch of old electronics, started ripping out the old guts of those, and then we started dropping in these new boards and making puzzles out of them. And so that's what we've done. This is the one we've got tonight. This one's furthest along in development, about 90% there maybe. We have a few others that are in development, and I'll talk about those in a few minutes. What I would go ahead and do is actually have my father Bob Cross come up. He's been helping me out with this throughout. And then let me also mention the rest of the team. We have about 6 or 7 guys. It fluctuates. Like I said, we're all volunteers, so it's really just when you can contribute time, and if we need your specific skill set to kind of help us out, you know, I'll just kind of step up, and we meet at Tech Shop usually. So anyway, we've been developing this. I'll have him help me go through a demonstration of the puzzle, and then afterwards, if you guys are interested, you can play it for yourselves. Let me grab my phone. The idea here is that you connect to the device using a mobile device, a cell phone or a tablet, and then you get clues and controls on the phone to help you solve the puzzle and unlock the device. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to kind of talk through what I'm doing, since you guys probably can't see, especially in the back there. So the way we have it set up right now, and my computer is simply monitoring. It's not required for this connection to happen. So I'm going to connect using the IP address of the machine here. And once I do that, I'm going to get prompted to start the game.
Do you want the overhead?
Can we like project some video or something?
Yeah, the cable's right there.
Okay, so what I'll actually do then is I'll just do it from my computer. So instead of connecting on the phone, I'll connect on my computer, and that should give the same effect.
Okay, just a second before they kick on to see the lights.
Quiet.
Plug this.
We got the College World Series.
There you are.
Who's winning?
Wow. Hopefully not. I went to Florida State, so I've got a root against you. Okay, so here it is. It's on port 3000. Anybody who's developed on Node before knows that's the default port. We are working on captive portal and some redirects and everything else, but for the time being, this is what we've got. Okay, so let me zoom this out. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so this is the prompt that we get when I first get to it. And we've got a simple little storyline here. We're looking at enhancing all of this, but again, volunteer-based, so we do this when we can. Hello there, my name is Professor Habersham, and I have traveled back from the year 2086. I should be there with the device you see in front of you, this lovely thing, but it appears my calculations were slightly off. Now I'm stuck in this spangled internet of yours, so I need your help. Run the startup sequence to activate the hyperportal, but please be careful to follow my instructions exactly. Any wrong move could send me barreling through space-time, and who knows where I will end up. First, start by giving the machine a spin. So, you look at the device, you say, okay, where am I going to spin this thing? My dad's so clever and figured it out, just like that. So he's gonna start spinning it, and while he's doing that, and let me actually pull up the XDK, and we should see. So we're monitoring right here, so you're good. So this is just some logs that I'm putting out there. This is kind of debug stuff, but just since it's a technical crowd, you guys might appreciate some of that. Okay, so immediately we updated. It's using WebSocket for this. Great job, it's powered up. Next, you need to turn on all the lights on the gold panel of the machine using the color buttons on your screen. That's these four down here. So I can simply click, and you see, well, maybe you see the red light is turned on. I do that with the yellow, blue, and green. All right, we got those on, and this is optimized for mobile, so I apologize. I don't think I'm going to be able to do any better than that. But anyway, so we've got, in order to complete the configuration, you must successfully pass 3 of the 4 tests below. So what we've done is we basically made little mini puzzle games modeled off of traditional games. So when you see one of the lights turn on the gold panel, press the corresponding button on your phone to turn it off. Don't take too long, or time may run out. When you're ready to begin, press the start button below. This is much like a whack-a-mole sort of situation. So I'll hit start, yellow popped up, blue, yeah, yellow, yellow,
green, blue, yellow,
getting quiet over there.
green, blue.
Alright, so we got them. We passed one test. Woohoo! Okay, and so I'll blaze through the rest of these. This is a challenge all about memory. So this one is like Simon says. The lights on the gold panel will light up in a certain sequence. Remember that sequence, and then play it back using the buttons on your phone. When you're ready to begin, press the start button. So I'll do that. Yellow, red, blue. Oh, I must have missed one. Okay, it's a series of 4. Fortunately, I got my little sheet right here. So it's blue, yellow, red, blue. So I'm going to do blue, yellow, red, blue. Alright, next sequence, blue, blue, green, blue. Okay, and this one, blue, yellow, red. Alright, so we passed 2, and then let's play this one. Here you will receive a riddle, which corresponds to one of the 5 buttons on the device, or on the gold panel. When you know which one, press the right button. When you're ready to begin, press the start button below. So maybe some audience assistance on this one. We have a key. We have a button that has keys on it, one that has an owl, one that has a skull and crossbones, octopus, and gear. So I will go ahead and hit start. And our first riddle. You can find me in the deep blue. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Octopus. I agree. I keep wheels turning and clocks ticking.
Gears.
Gears. Very good. Lock it up, but don't forget me when you do. Keys. Good. Dead men tell no tales.
Skull and crossbones.
Nice. Awesome. And we have our little victory dance here. Terrific. You did it. The hyperportal is activated. I must go now, but I'll see you in 2086. So that's the simple gameplay. We've presented at South by Southwest. We did make our tight deadline, which was about 7 weeks. We went from absolutely nothing to version 1 of this. And then we just got done last week. We were at the Design Automation Conference, which was down at the Austin Convention Center. We were there for 3 days, had almost 100 people play it, and we had some really good feedback. So that was encouraging to us. What else do I want to say about this? Yeah, so right now, this is kind of proof of concept for us. This just kind of showcases what can be done, the two-way interaction. We've got some more exciting stuff kind of lined up. I'll go ahead and speak about one of the puzzles we're working on, which is we're calling it War of the Worlds, which it's based on Orson Welles' 1929, I think it was, radio broadcast War of the Worlds.
1938.
38. Okay, excuse me. So 1938, Orson Welles did a radio broadcast where aliens, Martians, were invading Earth, and they interrupted the program. So this was very, it was famous for anybody who doesn't know. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so we're building a Martian flying saucer along with a kind of command box that's got a phone, and that puzzle is going to use voice recognition or voice to text to analyze what people are saying and actually create a two-way dialogue. So what we're really looking to do is try to kind of expand beyond just the basics. This one is more simplified in that regard, with simply buttons and that two-way interaction. So we've kind of set ourselves up with a nice framework here, and now we're going to look to expand into some other things. So that's War of the Worlds. We also have a spy game one that has a projector that was built in 1952, and we've rewired that with some LEDs and have some cool rebus pictograph things going on there. So let's see. Outside of that, I don't know what else to talk about.
Maybe the marketing engagement piece.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So what he was saying, what we're looking at doing now that we've gotten the positive feedback that we were hoping for, we're looking at getting into some places. Sherlock's Pub, for example, might be a great place to set up something like this, where it's kind of entertainment for 5 to 10 minutes, or the potential of working with marketing companies who maybe a big name company is looking to roll out some new product, and they want to get user engagement, full user engagement for 5 to 10 minutes. Well, we can create some sort of interactive device similar to this, where they're fully engaged for that 5 to 10 minutes, and the storyline, as opposed to being about a time traveler coming back from 2086, maybe it's about the new Xbox that's rolling out, or the new Mazda that's going to be showing up in Austin next summer, or something like that.
That's captured in that.
Right, and so that's another thing. So my dad is data analyst, data scientist, and so one thing we focused on, we actually captured their gameplay. Let me pull that up real fast just so you can see. So at the end of the game, we're actually recording kind of a JSON format here. When they started, when they ended, and if they won each of the games, the total time, and then just a final status and whether or not they won. This is simple metrics, but this kind of allows us to sit there and talk to somebody and say, hey, listen, these are the numbers we've got. 90% of people took 5 minutes to play this. That's the engagement time that you're looking at here, fully engaged. So that's another exciting piece about it. Yes.
Are you making one-of-a-kind units, or are you going to reproduce this unit multiple times?
Yeah, so that's something we've really kind of, we started with one-of-kind units, right? We went to the thrift store, we just bought stuff that we thought was cool. And so that's what we've done so far. Reproducible kind of mass quality of one is something that we certainly could do if someone approaches us and says, hey, you've got a creative group, you guys have the capability to do this, but we need 100 of these units. And that's something that we, I believe, could actually work on, but we haven't gone with that yet. We're looking at just these one-of-a-kinds right now.
To what age level? Some of these things seem very elementary, although I know that adults have gotten off with some of these whack-a-mole type games and such.
Yeah, so what's interesting is we found that this sort of gameplay is actually about the right level for most people who are just casually passing by. Because it is something new and they don't quite understand this two-way interaction, it's anything more complicated than this right now has proven to be very confusing, just the interaction itself.
You don't want to have to read a 4-page booklet.
Exactly. Yeah, and the other thing is, obviously the UI right now is not like totally refined, and so we have improvements that we've got to make before we can start making things more exciting for the end user. We did at South by Southwest have a lot of kids come up and play with their parents in some cases, and it works for them as well. You know, again, this is proof of concept, so people are seeing this for the first time, and it's kind of justifying what we are doing out there. We are planning on being at an event at the Thickery, which is a children's museum, in August. It is an adult event, but we would love to have a semi-permanent installation at the Thickery. So we would certainly have something. I mean, it's children, right? So we'll have to make it industrial grade, but we would like to create something, you know, for the kids as well, to help kind of encourage them to learn about these things. Something that's very important to me personally in development. I mentioned when I was talking about the hiring before, is helping people find jobs if they're seeking jobs within the group. Networking and finding people that can complement your skill set. Like I said, I'm definitely a software developer. We've got an electrical engineer that's done fantastic work. What he's done in here, inside of this box, is incredible. And I mean, there was something very simple I was trying to accomplish. It took me about 5 hours, and I still didn't have it done. I called up Dan. I said, Dan, listen, I can't get this. Can you help me out? I went over to his house. We had it knocked out within an hour, and it was better than I would have even been able to do. So I've gained a lot from that. I know other people have gained a lot from my knowledge on things. So networking is number 2. But number 3 is kind of a general education. If we can help with kids, we actually are talking with Hackster.io now. They're looking to expand their kind of platform a little bit, and we're looking at getting involved with them to make some of the aspects of this tutorials on their website. So that's kind of the three pillars of what our goal is with this is, you know, education, networking, and job placement if that's what people are seeking. So yeah, any other questions? Yeah, Dave.
Well, without giving away too much of your secret, could you tell us a little more about the hardware that's involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've done a few Intel hackathons. So we have 3 Intel Edison boards. This one in each puzzle. So this one has an Intel Edison. War of the Worlds is actually using a Raspberry Pi, and we've also dabbled with the Onion Omega, which I do not like. And then we have some ESPs, which we're kind of using on other projects, but are considering implementing for some basic functionality and some different things.
Which ESPs do you use?
The 8266. Yeah, just the Node MCU, the E12 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Have you tried talking to the escape rooms?
Yeah, so we were actually set up at Austin
What's the
Escape
question?
Game. We were set up there during South by.
Escape rooms.
Oh yeah, sorry. He asked, have we talked to any escape rooms? So we were set up at Austin Escape Game during South by Southwest during the music portion. It went okay. That was our first kind of like hands off. Let's just leave it out there in the wild and see what happens. It ended up breaking. People are more abusive when we're not nearby. So a lot of the buttons broke off, and we had to come over there and do a little bit of repair on it. So since then we've made a bunch of upgrades, and it's much sturdier, which is kind of a good thing. Not kind of, very good thing. And also at the beginning when we were when we initially were just kind of idea phase, we met with another. The name's escaping me now, but we met with another escape room in downtown Austin, and there was a couple others we have talked to, which is Vigilante Game Room, which is not far from here actually, and they're interested in having something in their lobby kind of as a precursor. Yeah, so you know, you go into the lobby, you're waiting to get a table, or you're waiting for your turn on the escape room, and you play the game and kind of get people excited about it. So that's something, that's definitely what we want to do, is kind of be able to set it, leave it, and just offer minimal support as needed. Pick it up a couple weeks later and just be able to gather the metrics. That's kind of, I think, where we want to get to next, where it's hardened enough, it's self-sustaining, it's not going to crash. If it does, it's going to reset itself, those sorts of things. Any other questions? Oh, it is almost 8. Okay. I can talk for a few more minutes if you guys want to hear. Let's see, actually.
So what's the platform you're using? Is it Linux?
The platform?
Yeah.
Software platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're using Node.js right now. It was my choice to do Node.js because that's where my strength is. I come from JavaScript development, and I had already done a few projects with Node, and so we just went that route with it. I know Python's was kind of the second choice, but yeah, that's.
The hardware platform you were using is.
Yeah, so the Intel Edison board is what's inside of here. It runs a flavor of Linux called Yocto, which is a nice stripped down IoT version. And then some of the libraries, I can actually kind of let you get a little view of that. Yeah, so we're using the MRA library for all of the I/O, and then Socket I/O library for that, the two-way binding, which is something that's really neat. And when we go back and refactor most of this code, I think that's something we're going to really lean heavily on is the socket stuff, because it's pretty powerful.
Just note here, Intel has stopped making the Edison boards. So they may go with something else, they may not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they've got, what's the new one now, the Curie or something like that? Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
About how many lines of code is your app?
So this one, actually, it's pretty much all contained in here. And so I can tell you 963.
Not quite 100,000 then, right?
No. It's yeah. I mean, it's pretty lean code, I suppose. Nothing super sophisticated either. My education in programming is somewhat informal, so you'll probably see me using some taboo syntax, I guess. Yeah.
Are you guys using any form of automated testing platform for the code?
Not right now. I mean, to be honest, it's not that complicated because it is just 900 lines of code, but that would definitely be wise of us at some point. I mean, some things we're looking at doing, I mean, automated testing would be fantastic. Something else we want to do is actually take an old router. I actually flashed an old router with DVWRT, and then put in some sort of captive portal where you go to the screen. If we've got a few puzzles set up, it says, welcome to Keep IoT Weird Puzzles. Please select your game. You choose your game. It detects if someone's playing. If someone is not playing, it lets you jump right into it, and it just redirects you to the IP address of that particular puzzle. If someone is playing, it says, please wait until somebody else is finished, and then you can jump on it. Something else that we're not doing right now that I think would be great enhancement is to have a leaderboard, so that we've been at, like, for example, at Design Automation Conference, if we've got a screen, a computer just sitting in the background that's recording the finishing times, and say, okay, so and so finished in 3 minutes and 2 seconds, and so on and so forth. Kind of make it a little more competitive, make it a little more exciting for people to play and get through it. So those are two key things I want to work on from the software side. We have one guy involved he's a UI developer for web, and so hopefully we can work on enhancing this UI, because this I had to kind of toss together last minute sort of thing. So. yeah, I guess it's not even 900 lines of code because I commented out a lot of it. Yeah, so that's that. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much, guys.